we lack any involvement in our civic engagement in United States. I got the opportunity to be the first Pakistani to win the primary election in Congress. Politics over here is a very dynamic field and things keep on evolving. The women should have all authority to make a decision, especially they should have all authority to make all the decisions, but most importantly about their body. Whether they are living in America, whether they are living in Pakistan, people from South Asia, we have the same genes, we have the same food we eat, we have same ancestors, we have same environment and climate and everything else. Why India has progressed so much? Why Bangladesh is passing Pakistan? Why Pakistan is lagging behind?
Hello and welcome to Infertalks, a podcast where we put you in the room with some of the biggest thought leaders from around the world. Our guest today is a pulmonologist and a doctor of internal medicine. He's been living in California with his family since 1999, but he was born and raised thousands of miles and worlds apart right here in Pakistan. He's been actively engaged in philanthropic activities and fundraising for nonprofits like UNICEF. He serves on the California Medical Board, and he's also a member of the board for the Valley Rescue Mission, the largest homeless shelter in California. All in all, he's been one of the most stalwart names in representing Pakistan in the United States. He's also ran for the US House from the 40th Congressional District in California. Our guest today is none other than Dr. Asif Mahmood. Thank you, Dr. Mahmood, for joining us today.
Thank you so much. And I really appreciate this opportunity. And thank you. And honestly, I want to take the opportunity at this point to thank my dear friend. And honestly, in many ways, I will call him my mentor, might be younger than me in my age, Mohd Yusuf. One of the few people I really admire from Pakistani diaspora who understand Pakistan and America very well. And we need more people like that. But thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. And I'm sure Dr. Yusuf would be happy to hear your thoughts and the high praise coming from you for him. So without further ado, let's begin. So for our first question, I wanted to know that as someone who moved to the US as an immigrant more than 2 decades ago, could you tell us a little about your journey from being a medical practitioner to running for Congress from California?
Yes, it is quite a journey. Honestly, 30 or 40 years ago, when I was living in Pakistan and moving to America, there was not even a glimpse of idea that I would be doing what I'm doing. But I have always in my life running against the odds. I, as you know, come from a very humble background in a small village in rural Pakistan, and moving up forward and going and always finding new ways and innovative ways. When I came to America, I realized 25 years ago that we lack any involvement in our civic engagement in United States and our representation here, and our issues are really resolved and discussed only by elected people. So I have been active for last 25 years at every level. I worked really tirelessly 25 years. Not a single day go by I do not do any work or anything which is related to American mainstream. And finally, we believe, as Muslim, we believe that you work hard, you do sincere things, and your conscience is clear, and you want to do for the betterment of society and humanity. Things will be opened by a hidden force we call Allah, but whoever, whatever he is, believer or not, it is honestly God's so much blessing the where I am today, and I got the opportunity to be the first Pakistani to win the primary election in Congress and contest in a competitive race in Congress.
Thank you so much. That's wonderful insight, and also a very, like I sense a lot of modesty in the way that you approach your success as well, which is quite a feat to be admired. So, could you tell me what your plans are for the future? Do you intend on running for Congress again in the next term, considering how close the elections were?
Yes. So obviously, politics over here is a very dynamic field, and things keep on evolving. And I don't really run for office or do things just because I want to run and make a name. I just do it a due diligence. I discuss and get advice from my friends. Most of them are not obviously Pakistanis, but I do have some close circuit Pakistanis, but who are mainstream people, who are accomplished politicians, the consultants and people, and we find the opportunity where I can actually make an impact. Being a physician, not a lawyer, and being somewhat outsider, I need to find an opportunities where I can do best for the people I am running. And my focus is on global issues. Nothing is decided yet, but I would not say no to anything. We are really dissecting the results. Still, we don't have exact uh, details of the results, and I am hoping this week we will have the exact results, and we will be making plan. But rest assured, the district I ran for, I am a unanimous candidate. If I plan to run, I won't have to run for primary because people will support me. But we will make decision in coming days and weeks.
Inshallah, and we wish you all the best for your endeavors in the future as well. And tell me, please, if you've come across other members of the Pakistani diaspora running for the government too, or being interested in doing that, or do you think this is a newer trend?
I really believe that a lot of people are now waking up. I first time I ran for delegate of my party, that is an elected position, and that was back in 2006 or 2007. Honestly, there was not hardly anybody I would see in Democratic Party meetings at their convention, any South Asian, very few Indians, no Pakistani at all, couple of Muslims, the Arabs who just went on there on the name of religion. But now we see a lot of influx coming. Pakistanis are winning elections in different areas, either city council or state assembly, delegates, and definitely things are improving. But we are not even close to where our goal is. My goal is to do something, as I said, where I can help things globally. And when I say globally, South Asia is definitely of my most a place of most interest. Being from Pakistan and understanding the dynamics of Southeast Asia, that would be the one. And for that, you need to be running for a federal office, which is the most complicated position to run. But I answered your question. I see more interest. I see more people coming along. And I think our community also understanding the need. So I'm hoping that in coming years, you will see more Pakistani Americans getting involved.
And do you think the Pakistanis who are running for office on different levels of governance, do you think they've shared a similar experience as yours, or do the experiences vary?
I haven't spoken to many people. Most of the people who are running have a different perspective, that they're running for local offices, and usually they are in the area where there are either South Asian population or they are Muslim population, or the dynamics there that they are locally. Nobody has ever endeavored to run for federal office like U.S. Congress. I think U.S. Senate is still far from the sight for any Pakistani American in next 2 decades, but Congress we see in the sight. So nobody has. The reason is that American system is a little different. Our numbers are very small. The district I ran in, Pakistani Americans are less than 0.025%.
Oh, wow.
And whoever are there, 70% of them don't even either not registered or don't vote. So they don't make any difference. The Muslims are less than 2%. So the beauty of American system is that if you are a known worker, you have done work across the board, and people know your work, people will really come and support you, and people will come and rally with you. But you need to show that significant work more than, like you are in a Latino district. There is a 25 or 30% Latinos, the natural choice will be a Latino candidate. The Black district, the natural choice will be that. So you have to really be a little bit more different and showing more charisma to be running. The district I ran traditionally for last 50 years, it's been mostly Latino district where the Latinos run, but we were able to achieve that. But the interest is definitely growing.
And I think it also makes sense when you come with a view and objectives that are more global, that are not just focused on one set of people. I think that kind of support then comes along very naturally as well. And on that subject, I'd also like to ask you that do you think that well, sorry, if I'm not mistaken, you ran for a Democratic seat in a liberal state, right? As you were just mentioning. And how did that shape your campaign? Was there, what was the reaction you got from the general public in California? And was it aligned with what you expected, or was it something unexpected entirely, the kind of support that came in?
Yeah. So this is very interesting. The district, I mean, obviously, California is the most progressive and most liberal state in the country. But California has pockets. The district, particularly the district I ran, that district has about 5 points plus Republican favoritism. The
Right.
more 5% more Republicans are registered in that district than Democrats, but there are independents. And this year was a little tough year. Even the districts which were more Democrat, even those districts we lost. We could not
Right.
flip a single district.
Mhm.
When pundits went on and up to the results what we have so far, when they analyzed it, literally, if my district is not the top, it is definitely in top 5 districts in the country where we gave them the hardest time.
Oh, wow.
We made our opponent to spend $16 million. That is the top dollar for a congressional district. And the Democratic Party and DCCC and many of our friends are very thankful, because if I did not run this district at this seat, the competition would not be as stiff, and they would not be spending $16 million. And that same dollar would have gone to somewhere south or Midwest or some other area where small amount like $500,000 makes a big difference. So we saved them, even though I lost, but we saved them many other seats just by engaging them and putting them spending this much money. So and other important factor is I really have, I mean, number of votes show how strong support I have. Number of votes I got, that is top 10 districts in the country, anybody who got by losing the election in the country. There, most of the races, 90% of the races got votes less than 100,000.
That's a massive
About,
achievement, Dr. Saab.
yes, about 5%, I mean, 95% people got less than 120,000 votes. And we got about 125,000 votes, which is one of the top 5% vote getters in the country. And there's a huge message that people really support you if you have a right message. People support you if your character is clear and your intentions are clear.
Yeah, that makes sense. And even like when we talk about the messages that you took into your campaign, we saw that you had very clear positions on a lot of issues. And we came across left leaning positions on reproductive rights, particularly in light of the Roe v. Wade being overturned recently. And then you've also taken very strong positions on gun safety, on affordable healthcare, and the cost of prescription drugs in the US. And your campaign also covered a lot of issues that we should care about as global citizens: the environment, conservation, providing relief to the labor classes, so on and so forth. And these are issues we should all care about, regardless of where we are, whether we're in Pakistan, in the US, or anywhere else in the world for that matter. What drove you to build a campaign around issues like these? What was your motivation for making these the anchors of your campaign?
Yes, very right. You really put this in right words. I am a Democrat not because Democrats are in power in California and I want to be. I'm a Democrat because my natural alliance is with the values of Democratic Party. I'm an immigrant. I'm a Muslim. I'm a person of color. I'm a physician who sees the misery. So all these values which I was running for campaign, I have been fighting for them for a long time. For example, I'm a physician. I see the misery every day. The cost of medical care in the United States is just unbelievable. People get bankrupt or declare bankruptcies more because of medical costs than any other reason in this country. prescription drug cost is a huge problem. I know people who spend more than half of their monthly income because they're on fixed income buying their essential medications. Homelessness is a huge issue. And unfortunately, Southern California is the hub of that. And I am sitting on a board which runs the largest homeless shelter in the state of California. We are largest in Southern California, but this is also largest in state of California. And we probably pretty soon will become one of the biggest in the country. And there are several rescue missions in the country. Our rescue mission is the biggest in the country. And I see the understand the problems with that. Roe v. Wade, I get sometimes criticism from conservative people, both Christians and Muslims, about this abortion issue. I am not going and advocating for abortion. What I am advocating is normal value, freedom of choice.
Right.
I do not drink, but if somebody comes to a party and he drinks, I'm not going to stop talking to him. It's his belief, it's his thing. I do not gamble, but if somebody wants to go gamble his money, I cannot stop them. We just are respecting the freedom of speech, freedom of your actions, freedom of practice of your views. And we just want to make sure the women should have all authority to make a decision, especially they should have all authority to make all the decisions, but most importantly about their body. Whether they are living in America, whether they are living in Pakistan. And I don't know, you know about me or not, I am a huge advocate for women's rights, whether they are in Southern California, whether in the United States or globally. I really always raise voice on that. So all these things which are, and then gun safety. Who would be able to make an argument that guns are a problem in America? And we are not in favor of taking guns away. All we are asking is making a common sense laws where people can be vetted, people with a mental health problem, people with imbalanced personalities. They don't need to have guns in them. We need to really watch them. People in America get a couple of tickets, their licenses, but driving licenses can be suspended. Why those people can have guns, and especially automatic weapons? There's no need for people to carry automatic weapons to shopping malls and church and mosques and those places, because they put a lot of people at risk. And we see things happening in America every day. So all these issues which I was talking in my campaign literally are the issues which I fight every day. And I have been fighting even before I even ran for office. So this was very natural campaign for me. Everything I believed, that's what I was advocating, and people took it very positively. It is just unfortunate that when there is so much money, and money plays a very big role in American politics, because you get more TV time. TV is the most expensive market in the area. Los Angeles is the most expensive media market in the country. So you need to have a lot of money, and they had unfortunately a lot more money, and they went against me on false accusations, posing me as a terrorist and a Muslim, and posing me as a doctor who helped this people when I sit on a medical board, and posing me that I'm going to my website, and I have said multiple times that I have no interest of raising any taxes on anybody, and they went on and they put those lies. So this is a kind of I would say a fair game. They can spend money and they can spread misinformation and they can win, but it can't last much longer. People will know more over the period of time that what our views are. They are right, common sense, logical views.
And did you feel that you were sort of an easier target for such misinformation campaigns because of your ethnicity, because of your background?
I really don't know. There is definitely the district I was running. There is a significant number of people who are favoring white supremacist movements, but I think large majority of people were not thinking on that. Large majority of people were basically brainwashed on this thing that this guy is going to come and he's going to raise $75 billion tax. This guy is going to come and he's going to take everybody's guns away. This guy is going to come and make everybody go through abortion. And these are the things which were all misinformation, and they spent more money and they spent the message and they created the propaganda which people did not want. And that's what the thing. But I don't think so. Much of an issue was I am a very open and proud Pakistani American and a Muslim. And everywhere, wherever I have been, whether on medical board or wherever, it is written that Pakistani American Muslim. So yeah, I think that acceptability is there, and we are making progress, and we are hoping we'll make more progress because we need to have our work, our credentials, and our message very clear. And I think we will prevail in the end.
Dr. Mahmood, um, could you tell us a bit about how you view the way US politics have shaped up over the last decade? And if you see that there's been a lot of extremes, rhetoric, and polarization, some have even called it a political civil war. Where do you think things are headed when it comes to US politics? And is this something that is there to stay now, or are we going to see a shift?
Yes, very well. You pointed out this very well in last decade or so, or maybe the last 6, 7 years, ever since uh, Donald Trump came into the campaign, uh, America has been very polarized. Both sides have extremes. I would not say just blame. There's the only right side of extreme. Left side has also some issues, but obviously blame goes on more individuals, and Donald Trump is one of them. He is gone to the extent where he also want to abolish U.S. Constitution,
Mhm.
and that is kind of something hugely surprising for a lot of Americans. But overall, American society is very divided. Uh, I personally think it's going to take its course. This coming election, presidential election, is going to be again very much divided,
Mhm.
mostly on party lines and mostly on extreme views of both sides. And
Mhm.
although the extreme views on both sides are not majority, but they are minority, which take you to the winning line.
Mhm.
So it is going to stay up to until I think next president election. And if we see the outcome is in a right direction and common sense people prevail, whether it's Democrats or Republican, I think country can go and head back to the common sense which America has always had for all their citizens. And it is not only in America. Last regime also kind of created a lot of situations where world also stopped believing America, stopped trusting America. They thought that they come overnight and change their views, or change their directions, or change their uh, alliances. So
Right.
people are a little bit concerned. So, but I think this was a good this were two good 2 years of President Biden. I think next 2 years, if they keep on working and keeping the trust of people here and across the world, and then if somebody who comes next 4 years keep on doing this thing, America will be again on the right path of uh, diversity and integration and unity and kind of stuff than just division and hatred.
Well, that's a hopeful view I see from your end. So now on to some questions about Pakistan. How do you view the development of our country through the last 2 decades, sitting, from the lens of someone who's been a member of the diaspora? And what do you think the country needs to do to improve its trajectory?
Yeah, definitely. So before I say anything, I am very open and straightforward on views on Pakistan, not only with my Pakistani friends or South Asian friends, but even my American friends,
Mhm.
that I am a huge friend and supporter of Pakistan.
Right.
And when I say friend and supporter of Pakistan, that means Pakistan and people of Pakistan, not any political party, not any regime, because our goal is I was born and raised, and I was against the odds. And honestly, Pakistan gave me anything any country can give to somebody.
Mhm.
And the opportunities, the doors Pakistan opened for me, they are the one which could have basically abolished me there, and I would not be anywhere. So my whole goal is to go and do good for whichever country I'm living and whichever community I'm serving. But Pakistan is always on back of my mind.
Mhm.
And that will be my legacy, to do something extraordinary for Pakistan, so that people are not getting the opportunity. People are not getting the way out.
Mhm.
I'm not going to name anything. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want people to take me like I'm taking inside.
Mhm.
Pakistan has not been on the right track in last 2 or 3 decades.
Mhm.
Pakistan has certain problems and corruption and a police state kind of views are
Mm-hmm.
hurting Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
Democracy in Pakistan needs to be true democracy, not democracy which is appointed or dictated by somebody else. These are open views. I talk to every leader, everybody. Um, but honestly, going back to past 2 decades or 3 decades, whatever has been lost is a
Mm-hmm.
different story. If you compare people from South Asia, we have the same genes, we have the same food we eat, we have same ancestors, we have same environment and climate and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Why India has progressed so much? Why Bangladesh is passing Pakistan? And why Pakistan is lagging behind? I honestly meet Pakistanis extraordinary people with the skill, with the hard work, with the sincerity of common people. We, our leaders, need to open opportunities for them. We need to give them more chance. We need to have more transparency. And I think it is an amazing opportunity for people like me. It's just not me, people like me who can be involved. You cannot, you can go to State Department, you can go to bureaucracy, you can ask for aid, you can ask for some help. But those people are going to be able to give you some help. Some of those will be loans, some will be
Mm-hmm.
grants, but they are not going to be able to give you anything else. You need to be involved with the elected leadership. That's what I have been advocating for last many years. That's why when the leaders come from Pakistan over here, I connect them with the elected leaders. Whenever I get opportunity, I send elected leaders from here to Pakistan
Mm-hmm.
to open a dialogue and do things for people, considering what is good for people of Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
And we really have a huge opportunity. We have a great diaspora in America, but all that diaspora is all focused on building schools in Pakistan. That's a very good thing. We doing the all other charitable work. They are not involved in American system, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where honestly, you. I'm not saying this is some bribe or something. You invest $1 million in an election cycle, Pakistan can gain $100 million out of that with one project.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a huge investment. That's what India has done. Why Bangalore is in a Silicon Valley outside America, and why it cannot be Lahore? Why all the universities are being built in other Middle East or South Asia when Karachi can have a huge talent there?
Mm-hmm.
Because we have not done both from here and from there. So people need to invest more. We need to also make sure Pakistani Americans not only make doctors and engineers, we also need to make some politicians and some lawyers and some social workers and some people who are involved in the civic engagement so they can help. There is not any bigger service a Pakistani American do today than to help Pakistanis living in Pakistan open opportunities for them so that the legacy goes on. My kids are not going to go to Pakistan if we keep on hearing the same news. But if Pakistan becomes like India, although India has more crime than Pakistan, but their kids all regularly go there because they have
Mm-hmm.
all the opportunities there. So we really have huge opportunity, and this opportunity should be availed. Pakistan's best interest is to align
Mm-hmm.
in America with America, not sacrificing their national interest, whatever that is,
Of course.
but cooperating different ways because America is a natural alliance.
Mm-hmm.
In last 75 years, we have been calling China our biggest friend and our strongest friend. How much is Chinese Pakistani community in China? How much remittances we get from China? How many businesses have progressed in China?
Mm-hmm.
Or take any other country's example. Saudi Arabia is our best friend. You can spend all your life, 100 years, you can even become Saudi. So these things need to be thought about. We cannot just live in emotions. We cannot just live in the dream world. We need to
Mm-hmm.
actually practically see things and think above and beyond of their just asking vote from the street, but doing good for people of Pakistan. And honestly, I find always opportunity. I don't want to keep on bragging over here. Always opportunity to do something for Pakistan so that Pakistan can progress. I have no family in Pakistan. I
Mm-hmm.
have no business there. I have no interest of taking any job or business. It's just from the heart. And I am honestly very hopeful that people are going to be coming up and learning more from this. Now we are January 9th, we are signing official, finally official signing in ceremony for California, Punjab, sister state. A lot
Oh,
of
wow.
people just think it's a signing. It's not signing. It's really huge opportunity for Punjab. And Punjab is Pakistan. I mean, I'm saying in a positive way.
Mhm.
Other things can be done. California is the fourth largest economy. California is bigger than most of the countries. And getting some pie out of California
Hmm.
to invest in Punjab will be a huge opportunity. And that is why we are making it a big deal. I think delegation from Punjab is coming. We are doing official signing in. The Speaker of California, the Lieutenant Governor, and hopefully Governor is in town. He'll be there and we will
Uh-huh.
be signing some MOUs. But at the same time, when Pakistani Americans do things, Pakistanis living in Pakistan also pursue things. They just forget. You get them something, after that, they start finding their own businesses and their own thing what they can be benefited.
Hmm.
We all need to think about helping our state, helping our country, helping Pakistanis in general, not individual businesses. And I think things can be made, things can progress very well.
Some very interesting points you've made there, and also particularly on the Lahore, California sister city agreement. If I'm not mistaken, there's already an agreement of the sort that exists between Karachi and Houston, and Houston has a huge South Asian and Pakistani diaspora. But considering what you told us earlier, California doesn't have that big a diaspora. But it's a testament to the work and efforts of people like you that such agreements are coming about. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, but I just want to clarify that Houston, Karachi is totally different. This is a
Hmm.
California, Punjab.
Right.
We already signed the MOU when last time Governor of Punjab was here. We signed the MOU between University of Agriculture University Faisalabad and UC Davis, which is the second largest agriculture university,
Right.
and will bring. There is not any other state to state between Pakistan, any provinces within a state,
Hmm.
and we are fortunate to have this in California. And I have worked hard in California last 25 years, and I have access to everybody who makes decision. And honestly, people respect when you do things honestly and fairly and transparently.
Naturally.
They know I have no business angle there. They know I don't even have any other business other than medical practice I have.
Hmm.
So they will go on this thing, but this will be a completely different. It's a completely new thing,
Right.
and this has huge value if we want to utilize it. California is not going to run after those people. Okay, I keep on doing it because I have love for Pakistan,
Right.
but California is only going to do when you keep on bugging and bringing up this. We need this, and there's a lot.
That
California,
is
and
true.
we pick California because California has a lot common in Punjab. Agriculture is the biggest in United States in California.
Hmm.
California provides more vegetables and fruits than any other state to the whole country. Punjab is big agriculture university,
True.
agriculture state.
True. True.
Education is huge in California. UC is one of the prime and biggest education system in the world. Punjab is also famous for universities. And so on, other things can be considered. And there's a huge Punjabi population in California, although they're not all Pakistani, they're like a huge Sikh, but
Right.
culture is same.
That's very interesting information. I look forward to what comes out of this agreement. It sounds like it holds a lot of potential for both California and for Punjab as well. So, do you think there's any major room for how Pakistan and US ties can be improved? Would you see that in the form of similar agreements, or are there other pathways to improving relationships between the two states?
Obviously, Pakistan needs to work harder to clear the misunderstandings and misconceptions about Pakistan with American government.
Hmm.
As I said, America is a vital source for Pakistan. Not only what America gives, IMF is controlled by America.
Right.
Um, the economic system in the world is controlled by America. Pakistan needs to be very candid, very clear, very honest, and not being intruding into the local thing. I think Pakistani politics needs to be more transparent.
Hmm.
Pakistani politics needs to be more stable, and people need to be working not for parties, working for the country. Pakistan has to. We are happy to open all the doors and all the opportunities we can, but we need to make sure that uh, Pakistani government, whatever comes, is and not taking any side. I honestly want to give a little credit to obviously my friend Maud Yusuf, but Imran Khan. no matter what people think about him, that he's anti-America kind of stuff, he's not. I have had many encounters and I have asked him many things which are logical, which are going to be helping Pakistan, and there was not a resistance at all. And he really acted in a very responsible and very generous way. And where that's how I really became close to him, and that's how I realized that he cares about Pakistan, and he is not taking it that he's going to be taking ties away from America. It's not. But whatever the politics bring, whoever wins, we are there to help. But Pakistan needs to do more steps because Pakistan needs America more than America needs Pakistan. I know, probably, I don't read the local newspapers, but there is an impression everybody thinks that America cannot survive South Asia without Pakistan. That is completely nonsense. America doesn't need Pakistan. Pakistan needs America. And we need to wake up. We need to face reality. We just really, and that does not mean at all that Pakistan should become dependent on America, that Pakistan should take the dictation from America. But for a logical, good things, for the things which are good for the country and good for the people of Pakistan, they should take steps.
No, it makes sense. I mean, it is one of the stronger economies of the world, and there is a lot of benefit that can be reaped out of a good working relationship with between both countries. And you also raised the point of transparency. I think that also goes both ways. I mean, like within Pakistan as well, but then on the other side with the US as well. A lot more transparency, I think, in how both the countries interact and how both the countries sort of support one another. I think transparency can bring a lot more room for fostering more trust. So I think that's a very important point that you raised over there. So, Dr. Mahmood, last question for the day. I just want to ask you something that's a little bit aside from politics and governance and all of that stuff. Home is always a place where you find comfort, a place where you find safety, a place that is full of warmth. In that light, I wanted to ask you what makes your home home for you in California. And what are some of the things about your home back in Pakistan that you still miss and wish to have sort of incorporated into your life?
Thank you so much. You're so right. Home is a home. There's nothing replacement for home. And I have lived in California for now 24 years. My kids were born. My daughter was born in Kentucky, and my older son was born in New York, and my youngest son was born in California. And ever since we lived in California, so I have spent more time in California than actually just a little bit shy from in America. But in California, I spent more time in one city or one state than anywhere else in my life. So California is home. I have been very closely networked with the local communities, like whether they are any issues, all local organizations, different clubs, different. My most of the work, 95% of my affiliation and my work is in mainstream. We believe that if you live in a country, if you are not part of the mainstream, you're not really entangled in the country. So I have very strong and good memories, and my progress has been much better in California. So I call California home, and I think if nothing significantly different happens, I will always have California my home, and my kids love it, and weather is great, and otherwise place is wonderful. Place where you're born, where you're raised, and those years can never be replaced. I was, as I said, I was born in a remote village and, very humbling background, but still those are good memories. When you look back and you have progress, those things are actually even more an asset than if you have not done very well. So Pakistan, I don't really call any place where I was born. I have lived in Lahore. I have lived in Karachi. I spent my best time of my life in Karachi. And those are good days in Karachi. So I call the whole Pakistan my home. I'm really very at comfort in Karachi, Lahore, or Khani, the place I come from, or Islamabad. So, as I said, my whole dream is to do something in my life which will change the life of Pakistanis, because that is where I see the talent. That is where I see the need. And that is what I am not interested in making a whole lot of money. I even if I want to, I cannot. I am not a business mind person. I have no other big desire, and I want to help people globally. And there is nobody has more right and more loan or uh, burden on me than Pakistanis, and I will keep on doing. And inshallah, I promise you, one day we will do things which will make difference in common person's life, and many people will benefit out of that. And running for office is part of that, is that reasoning behind it. Obviously, working here, helping people over here, which I do every day, is there. But that is one of my biggest desire, my biggest wish, and we will keep on working and struggling for that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mahmood, for taking out time to speak with us today, and for the wonderful insights that you've provided to us about your career, about life in the US, about everything that we spoke about today. Thank you so much for making the time to see us.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity and looking forward to see you in person when I'm in Islamabad.
Inshallah, very soon, I hope.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in and staying with us through this conversation. Our team works very hard to bring these podcasts to you, and we would really, really appreciate if you could give this video a like and share it with your friends if you found it interesting. And don't forget to press the bell icon so you don't miss any updates from Infer.